Richard Rawlings stood in a courtroom on a September morning, a figure widely recognized from Fast and Loud, known for confidence and a larger-than-life presence, but reports circulating online about that moment have raised questions about what actually occurred and what may have been exaggerated or misunderstood, prompting a broader examination of how a public image can shift so quickly. So what is fact and what is speculation in the story of his reported downfall? To understand that, it helps to look back at how Rawlings built his reputation, starting with a small operation in Dallas that became Gas Monkey Garage, where he developed a business model centered on buying, restoring, and selling classic cars, often turning overlooked vehicles into profitable sales. And when television entered the picture in 2012, his approach reached a national audience. But how much of that televised success reflected reality? The show presented a fast-paced environment, where deals were struck quickly and restorations appeared to happen under tight deadlines, creating a sense of urgency and excitement that drew millions of viewers, and for many, Rawlings became a symbol of entrepreneurial success in the automotive world. Yet as with many reality programs, editing and production choices played a role in shaping that narrative, leading some to wonder how closely the on-screen version matched day-to-day operations. So, where did questions begin to emerge? After the program concluded in 2020, the visibility that had supported the brand began to fade, and with it came closer scrutiny from both fans and industry observers, who started examining business ventures, closures of related establishments, and changes in direction that suggested the transition from television personality to independent operator was not entirely seamless, raising a reasonable question about whether the pressures of maintaining that brand were greater than they appeared. And, if so, what challenges followed? In online discussions and smaller media outlets, claims began to circulate about financial pressures and business complications, including references to audits and regulatory reviews that are not uncommon for high-profile entrepreneurs, particularly those managing multiple revenue streams, and while such reviews are often routine, they can become the basis for broader speculation when details are unclear, leading to a key question: did any official findings support the more dramatic claims being shared? Available public information does not confirm the more extreme allegations that have circulated, including claims of criminal schemes or courtroom collapses, and in many cases, these narratives appear to have developed through social media amplification rather than verified reporting, highlighting how quickly an unverified story can take hold when it involves a recognizable public figure. So why do such narratives gain traction so easily? Part of the answer lies in the contrast between public persona and private operations, as Rawlings' on-screen identity emphasize bold decisions and high-value transactions, which can make any suggestion of irregularity seem plausible to an audience already familiar with risk-taking behavior, even if no concrete evidence supports those claims, and this dynamic often leads to a blending of entertainment and assumption, raising another question: how should viewers separate documented fact from narrative speculation? A closer look suggests that many of the more serious claims, including references to fraudulent vehicle identification numbers or hidden operations, lack substantiation from credible legal records or official statements, and while discrepancies in business practices can occur in any industry, particularly one as complex as vehicle restoration and resale, they require verified documentation before conclusions can be drawn, which brings attention to the importance of relying on confirmed sources rather than viral content. So what does this mean for Rawlings' current standing? As of recent updates, Rawlings continues to be active in automotive circles, maintaining a presence through digital platforms and ongoing projects, indicating that despite fluctuations in public perception, his involvement in the industry has not ended, and this continued activity suggests that the more severe claims of legal consequences may not reflect reality, but rather a narrative shaped by fragmented information, leading to a broader consideration: what lessons can be taken from this situation? For viewers, particularly those familiar with decades of media evolution, this case illustrates how quickly a reputation can be challenged in the digital age, where incomplete information can spread widely before verification occurs, and it underscores the need for careful evaluation of sources, especially when stories involve significant legal or ethical implications, raising one final question: how should audiences approach similar stories in the future? The answer lies in maintaining a measured perspective, recognizing that public figures often exist within both a constructed media image and a more complex real-world context, And while scrutiny is a natural part of visibility, conclusions should be based on confirmed facts rather than speculation. And in the case of Richard Rawlings, the gap between those two elements appears to be where much of the confusion has developed, leaving an ongoing discussion about perception, reality, and the responsibility of both media and audience in shaping the narrative.